We're back at the backyard golf course build. We are trying to build a par 3 backyard golf course with 2 USGA golf greens and multiple tee decks. We've got the drainage done on both of the greens right now, and it's time for the gravel layer. I'm actually going to use 2 different gravel types for this process. This is 3/4 inch clear limestone. It's very common around here, it's easy to get, and I was going to use it for the full gravel layer of the golf green, but I was a little bit too worried it was too coarse. So this is much smaller, much finer, and it's all granite. Not that it matters what the stone's made of, but I think it's just a lot easier to rake and shape. You can see how that's moving. When we get to the end of this stage, really, that is the shape of my golf green. But one thing I want to do just to clear my mind is to see if I can actually put some gravel around this pipe and drive over it with my equipment. If I could go back in time and do it again, I would probably spend a little bit more money and get a skid steer with tracks. This thing's worked great for me. We've got this far with it. I'm going the rest of the way with it. However, it's a 7,000 pound machine and it's on 4 tires, and I have a ton of weight on all those tires. So when you get a full bucket of gravel in there and the weight of the machine, and I try to get across those trenches, I think I'm 100% going to crush that pipe. So I don't think we're going to be able to use this. We're going to have to try the small tractor. So this tractor is significantly lighter in weight than the skid steer. I'm going to take a bucket of the gravel right now. We'll pack it around an area in the trench around the pipe, and then I'll see if I can sneak across it with no weight in the bucket. It's okay. I don't think it collapsed it, but it definitely put some pressure on it for sure. I think we're best to just stick with the small tractor. I'm impressed. I didn't think I'd be able to do that. This side didn't crush at all. What I want to do now is just do a little bit of prep around these trenches. I've got a lot of rocks that popped out when we were digging the trench. I'm going to leave a lot of this dirt here, but I want to get rid of the rock. Not a great day to shoot a video, but I'm running out of time here. I want to get some bent grass on this green this season. It's starting to rain. I'm going to start bringing some gravel across. I really hope I have enough. I've got 2 triaxles of gravel. Really glad I can drive on this pipe. I didn't think I'd have to drive on it too much, but it's just so tight in here. It's gravel time at the big green. This larger green takes so much more time and material than the smaller one, but I want to get it done today. And I think the first thing I have to do is get around the outside of this green and level it off a little bit better. It might not show on camera, but there's a pretty steep grade here, and I want to smooth that off because I actually want to use the skid steer to spread the gravel. I'm just so much faster with that. I'd rather prep the outside first so then I can sneak in from a lot of different directions, and I think it's going to help me spread that gravel quicker. That worked great with the skid steer. The bucket is so much bigger than the small tractor. I can hold a lot of material, so I can go on a long run and cover a lot of pipe with one bucket. The negative trade-off again are the tires. They're digging into the subgrade as I do 3 and 4 point turns, trying to maneuver around here and not drive over the pipes behind me. But that other green I hand raked anyway, so we'll end up raking this out and it should be totally fine. I didn't put a lot of gravel on there. I just wanted to put enough where now I can hand rake it, cover the pipe nicely, and then I'm going to come in, put more gravel on, and after that I'm going to try and pack this gravel nice and tight so that the next step with the root zone mix, there's going to be a lot of sand coming in here for this golf green. I definitely want to be able to drive over these pipes with my skid steer. One thing I would have changed is removing this little rim here of dirt. This came out when I had the trenching bucket and it was just kind of the spillover, and I left it, and I probably should have taken the time and just went around with a shovel and cleaned that up. The issue is right now it's creating a dam where this will fill up with water and it won't allow the water into the drainage gravel. That was a lot of work, a lot of raking here. A nice morning, watching the sun come up, raking some dirt. Hard to beat that. It looks so much better here right now after just an hour of raking. That ridge that I had along all of these trenches is gone, so now the water can hit the dirt, saturate that dirt, and then it can run into the trench with no issues. Nobody likes raking, but hard to beat hand raking. This looks so much better in just a short amount of time. That plate compactor worked great. This gravel is so firm right now. There's no movement when I walk on it whatsoever. So I think we can get the skid steer in on this trench and not crush any pipe. I'm gonna test that right now and see if we can get across here. I don't think the tires are going to sink into this gravel. That did not move at all, so that is huge news. I'm not amazing on any piece of heavy equipment, but I'm by far at my best in the skid steer, so I'm really glad we can get across this pipe safely, not destroy our drainage system, and I'll be able to use this to spread everything now. So now we'll move from the heavier gravel to this smaller, finer gravel. The plan is to put just a couple inches down across the entire green, both green surfaces. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I ordered one big dump truck load. They dumped about half here and a little bit more than half down there. So we're just gonna go see if we can get a couple inches across this green. I used every little bit of gravel that I had in that pile, and I think I'm gonna actually rake this one out before I go to the other green, just to make sure that this is gonna work. I don't have a lot on here, but I do think I have enough. That was quite a bit of raking, but it looks so good. I'm quite happy with that. It actually looks like a playing surface now. That smaller gravel, it moves around well. I could fill any low spots and really spread it out nicely. I think I'll take a little bit more time with the skid steer on the next green, try to get that a bit smoother off the get-go. I had some bumps and valleys there that I had to drag around with the rake. But other than that, other than the heat, it was pretty good. I love the way it looks. We can finally start to see the shape of a green here. It's time to tackle this green. I have a little bit more rough prep to do. We've got a lot of rock here to get rid of. I'm just gonna gently smooth over the center and jump right into the gravel and see if we have enough. I'm going to hope this gravel's enough. We have significantly more gravel here, but we also have significantly more green. I have this left over. This is that heavier limestone. I think I'm going to put that down in some low spots that I have. Just use it as a base and then go with the smooth stuff because it's so much easier to rake. Oh, that's clean enough. Let's take a picture and spread some gravel. The good news is that we had enough gravel. That saves me $500 not having to order another load. The bad news is I think I did a worse job on this green laying down the gravel smoothly. So it's a bigger green and there's gonna be even more raking. That looks so much better, just quickly taking the high spots off. I have a couple lawn drags that I've used on topsoil, and I might grab my smaller one and the small tractor and give this a drag and just see what happens if we can get this super flat with the drag. That was quick and easy, not perfect by any means, but what it did is smooth everything over, and now I can easily identify my low spots. They're super easy to see. I have that gravel left over, I might as well use it, so I'll truck that in, fill up my low spots, and then we can continue to work at this with the drag and the rake. I was too excited to get to the raking and the dragging, and what I wanted to do first was check this lateral line. This is the one where I came in with the gravel and the Bobcat a lot of times with a lot of weight, and I drove right over this lateral line, and it's somewhere here. I can't quite see it now with the granite gravel on top. If that pipe is in good shape, we are 100% okay on all this drainage. If that pipe is crushed, then I've got some thinking to do. You can hear that pipe. It's right here and it looks pretty darn good. That is a good looking pipe. So that pipe is still intact. It is still structurally sound. So totally happy with that. I am 100% confident that all of our drainage, all 350 feet of drainage pipe should be perfect if this piece is looking as good as it does. Coming up next, we will be doing the final shaping of the fairway area. We'll also be piping irrigation to cover the entire property. That would be the 2 greens, the fairway, and even the rough area. Plus, that USGA root zone mix will be here, and we'll be spreading that all across the greens.